What is something you wished you knew before having sex? That I had a latex allergy. I literally swelled shut. Just the worst. Sounds horrible. I'd be fucking shitting myself if anything like this happened to me. Not if your beehole is swollen shut. Wash your ass. B-day. The average size of a penis. World eliminated a lot of anxiety. I think this should be a lot higher up. It's really sad how many guys have issues with their size. You're just like the rest of them. That I'd left the car in neutral. I left it in drive during my first kiss and ran over her garbage bins. I didn't know she was gonna kiss me. I thought I was just dropping her off, otherwise I would have put it in park. My foot slipped off the brake in the heat of the moment and the next thing you know, crunch. Not gonna lie, this is kind of adorable. That being said, I'm a driving instructor. Always put the fucking car in park when you park, lol. That it's not that big of a deal. I spent the first 20 years of my life completely obsessed with it. It's great, but I should have given my arm a break. I remember the first time I told one of my buddies I lost my virginity. I thought he was gonna be super excited for me and congratulate me, if not for losing my virginity then for who I lost it to. We both went to school with her, and she was very attractive / popular. Instead he said not that cool huh, and suddenly I realized that this thing I had constantly thought about since I was 12 is just kind of fun, but not really life altering like I thought it'd be. My group of friends gave me so much shit for being a virgin I figured I was missing out on something spectacular, but it was just sex. Hard to explain to somebody who's never had sex, but I feel like most people can relate. Edit. Thanks for the silver. I'm glad I can put so many of your guys' mind at ease. If you're really worried about it, just take that step and put yourself out there, but I wouldn't sweat it. Take it from someone who has never had a relationship and only had sex with random people. Sex causes a lot more bullshit than it's worth. It does not equal love or even affection. I guess it is just an act for some people. Or intimacy, unfortunately, which is really what some are searching for. Where the clit is. Edit. Thanks for the karma y'all. I think I might actually have enough karma to pay a girl off to tell me where this clit is that I've been hearing so much about. I appreciate yeah. Inside the belly button right. Just above, but basically yeah. P after. This is what I was looking for. I didn't learn this until it was too late. That dicks completely have a mind of their own. Aroused does not always equal hard and ready to go. The amount of times that I've had to switch positions or stop for a second for whatever reason and my dick is instantly just like alright, job's done if frustrating. It only takes a few seconds to get back to ready, but it's weird. Demand a condom. People lie all the time. Don't risk your life and your future on somebody's word. I would just say always bring your own, and I'm not even a guy, but I had a GF who told me she poked holes in the condom of her last BF, but it didn't work. I'm not saying every girl is like that, but there are a few, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Should have bought a dozen condoms and figured out how to put it on. I went through like 4 before I got the damn thing on. Dude, I lost my condom when I lost my virginity in the back of a Chrysler LeBaron. I have no idea where it went or if it was hanging out of her like a tampon string. Status. It's much better w/someone you really love. I've only ever had sex with my fiance and people ask me all the time if I'm worried about missing out on sexual experiences that I might get from different people and why I didn't shop around sexually. We waited until we'd been dating a few months to have sex. I knew I loved her before we did it, and the fact of the matter is it gets to the point where you know what your partner really likes, tolerates, and will not do. And even if the sex is bad one night, at least in the morning I know I'll be able to have a conversation with a person I genuinely care about over breakfast. That recovery time was a factor. He was nice about it, but I still felt embarrassed when he had to explain why he needed a few minutes recovery time for a second trip. Lick it before you stick it. William Shakespeare. In quarantine. Romeo Budsoft. What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun and kill the envious moon. Juliet Amy. Romeo. Get thee back a house. Thou art verily a covidiot being abroad at such an hour. Go slow. Porn is a lot of fuck like a sewing machine kinda shit. You gotta start slow, then build up. Like that Tenacious D song. I wish more guys would know this. Your first time isn't a groundbreaking, earth-shattering experience. It will probably be over before you process what's happening. It's 100% better when you're actually ready and not just being pressured. That like, you should be turned on, really physically aroused, before doing it. Seems stupid but I guess I didn't know. I just wanted to get it over with. I didn't know how to put it into words, but you did it for me. I just let the dude shove it in, and it felt like being stabbed from the inside. It hurt so bad I almost asked him to stop, but then I thought I'd eventually have to do it, so I waited for it to be over. I wish someone had explained arousal to me. It is my understanding that this is why a lot of women bleed during their first time. Nervous equals unaroused equals dry equals tearing. The squishy, suction noises, also a good name for a punk rock band. Is she just having sex with me out of pity, or does she actually want it as much as I do? Girl, I lost my virginity to told me she only kept having sex with me for the following 3 months was purely out of pity. Due to that, and a combination of issues from my childhood, I now worry that every time I get close to a girl she's just going to turn around and leave. I'm now 22 and have been dealing with this shit for 7 years. You don't get your dick back after you put it in. Really should read their return policy before having sex. I thought about it, but it was one of those like 4 pages of 6 font text, and here I'm now, telling my story. Air escaping makes noises, don't laugh. The day I learned I could do this at any given time was an interesting day. That I didn't need to do it, so my boyfriend wouldn't break up with me. He definitely was not worth it. This comment should be higher up. It's not a bargaining chip for staying in a relationship. If she says, you don't need a condom, you definitely need one. Don't wanna carry those genes down to the next gen. It's going to be really awkward for the first dozen times or so, until you get used to it. Once you're more comfortable, then you can start having fun. As the great Josh Wolf once said, that the hole was so far back, I see you're a man, or a woman IDK, of culture as well. After you come in a condom, you need to hold the condom as you pull out, or else it'll stain her, and possibly spill. That you need another person involved, before you can consider it sex. Shit. How to have sex. Foreplay is super important. If anything, spend some time kissing her stomach and touching legs. Licking the nipples is another plus. I didn't have sex until I was 19. When I finally did, I couldn't finish, and I remember telling her that I wouldn't be able to ejaculate unless I was with someone I loved. Yep, I was a dumbus. Excuse me, WH chat. You straight up basically said you didn't love her. How to make a woman orgasm. Hell, I'm a guy and I didn't nut the first time. I'm 38. It took me until a few years ago to realize that sex is almost never just sex. It's gonna involve feelings, power dynamics, expectations of reciprocity, or some combination of those. Even when all signs point to just sex, it's not. Stanky pussy is not normal. My first hookup smelled like a combination of fish market, shit, and vomit. Didn't find out till my first real girlfriend that was not in fact normal. Red flags abounded, too. Girl had meth mouth. That you can be allergic to cum. Her name. How to not be painfully shy. Lube. Use some fucking lube. My ex and I tried having sex a few times, but due to pain on her end it didn't really work out, and our relationship suffered as a result. That putting down a towel is a great plan, and that having a couple of clean rags around are great for cleaning up afterwards, before a shower. How much Microsoft shares were going to climb, so I could have purchased some afterwards. Leave the shorts at knee level to avoid rug burn. That you need a level of situational awareness when your GF is busy taking your virginity in her mom's bed. I feel like there's a hilarious story behind this. That saving one's virginity isn't as romantic as it sounds. If it smells like cologne, leave it alone.